Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We have the Model F from Electric Bike Company. If you guys saw my unboxing and my review video, then you know what we're gonna do next. And what I like to do is take my electric bikes to work. So I'm gonna see how this is to commute. I didn't change anything on the bike. Everything's exactly how it comes. Now this model, if you didn't see the other videos, does come with a rear rack and a basket that is extra. And I wanna talk about some more stuff about the company because Blake from Electric Bike Company gave me some more information about this bike and told me some new things coming to it. So let's get on the way and talk about it, and then I'll explain how my ride to work is, and then by the end of the video we'll see where our range is at. We're roughly gonna do probably about 14 miles of range. All right, so one thing I wanna tell you right off the bat is that I'm not gonna be using any type of pedal assist. So if that's something that you are interested in, this is definitely not gonna be the video. I'm pretty much just gonna be using throttle only, and we're gonna be going top speed. So our range is really gonna be off of throttle in mode number 5, and we also changed the settings to get the fastest speed on this bike, which you can easily do by when you turn on the bike, hold the up and bottom buttons at the same time, and it will take you into the secret menu. And then the first thing you're gonna see is your speed. Change that to about 72. I think it's kilometers per hour, and then go to C4 and then change 4 to like 60% or something like that. Go, bike, go faster, I wanna join them. But all right, so let's get into the things that Blake from Electric Bike Company told me. So I mentioned on my review video that there's not a lot of options on their website for this bike, but there's some things I forgot to mention and I didn't even know about. So they are gonna be adding fenders to this bike, so you can go on the website and start ordering fenders. And keep in mind, if the fenders aren't available on their website exactly yet, you can always contact them directly, tell them I sent you, and then tell them you're looking at picking up one of these bikes with some fenders. I know, Danny. Another thing is, we mentioned that there is no bottom stand on this bike. So when you do fold it, it literally sits on the bottom of the frame. So if you have a nice color paint job on this bike, either it be, you know, the standard colors, which is black, white, and red, you might damage it depending on where you're folding your bike up. So just be careful on that. Blake did tell me that they are gonna contact the R&D department and see if they can work on getting a little stand at the bottom of this frame. But he said don't quote them on that because it might not happen. But he did take into the fact that it probably should have had one, but it was just something that they didn't notice when doing it, because this is their first folding electric bike. It doesn't ruin the performance of this bike at all. It just, you want to definitely be careful when you're transporting this bike and folding it up. Another thing too is that they don't have the custom colors on their website either, but they did say it is going to be available soon. And if you guys want to get one ASAP and it's not available, just contact them and they'll get you set up with that. And trust me, they have tons and tons of colors available on their website for their other models, the e-bike. So I think all the colors are going to come to this bike and it's going to be fantastic. That's another reason why you're going to want to be careful when folding this bike. The one thing I'm really excited about is the fenders. Now, that's something I didn't mention in my review. I didn't really care too much about fenders being added, but I will say that it's a nice touch just in case you go over any dirt, mud, rain, gutters, anything like that, so you can keep the splash off of your back or off your bike so you don't have to clean it too much. So that's gonna be a nice thing that they add on to the bike. The one thing I really like about Electric Bike Company is the baskets. Now, everyone's gonna have their own opinion because it depends on the style of e-bike you want. But the fact that I can leave my gloves in my basket for later on when it's colder and I'll put my gloves on. I should probably be wearing them now. I mean, safety first. You never know when you're gonna go down. Your hands are the first thing to go down. So I'm probably being stupid by not having my gloves on, but I'm just gonna wear them at nighttime. It's a little hot right now. But the fact that you just have a basket to put your stuff in, I can throw my backpack in there. It has my Steam Deck so I can game on my lunch break. And I have a bunch of other stuff in there like cutters, pins, apron, got some energy drinks in there. So the fact that I don't have to have that on my back is a very nice feature. And if you guys didn't know too, that you can get the basket color changed too. So you don't have to get a black basket. So you can actually do the inside color of the basket, and then you can also do the outside color of the basket. So you have a two-tone on the basket color. And just keep in mind, if it's not available on the website and you want to add it to this bike, just call them, ask for Blake. I believe they're in Huntington, California. hit them up and they'll take care of you. Just tell them I sent you and then they'll hook you up with everything. And you'll also get the alarm system too if you use my coupon code. Blake also said something about an app that they're gonna be adding. So it's going to connect to the LCD display. So I'm not exactly sure what they mean by that. I don't know if it's gonna be a phone app that replaces the LCD screen, or you can like modify it, or instead of going in the advanced setting, maybe you can do it from your phone. He didn't really give me any information on that, but he just said that they're working on an app for this bike that will work with the LCD screen. So look forward to that in the near future. Another thing to look forward to in the future with Electric Bike Company is they're gonna be having dual motors on these bikes sooner or later, but they're waiting to get VIN numbers on the frames before they do that. So I don't know if you saw my Model X video. If you haven't seen that, go check out that review video. It's a gorgeous bike. I think it technically cost me over $5,000 because I added 2 batteries to it. I added 2 controllers, 2 throttles, and we have 2 motors. We got one in the front and one in the back. But I guess they're not doing that right now because they have to follow some laws and everything like that. So they need VIN numbers on the bikes first. But look forward to having dual motor setups. It's probably gonna cost you an extra $1,000, but oh my God, these bikes are insanely fast once you have a dual motor setup on it. The front wheel will pull out kind of like an Aerial Rider Grizzly. If you guys have ever been on one of those bikes, it feels exactly like that. All right, I need to go across as soon as possible. Go, bike, go. But other than that, I think that is all the updates that I needed to tell you guys, and we're close to work. We have a little path to go through, and then we're gonna go up an overpass over here really quick. We just went over one of them, and I will tell you this right now because I'm not here to lie and tell you anything. I'm not trying to sugarcoat nothing. And I will say that this bike was struggling to get up that. It's more of a steeper hill than the one we're gonna be doing, but it said that we were doing about 17 miles per hour coming up it. But keep in mind, this is a 750 watt motor with a peak of about 1,000. Like right now we're pulling 900 watts, 890 watts right now. This thing is definitely powerful. It has a nice, powerful controller in here. I wish I knew the amps on the controller because I would definitely tell you guys if I knew. Maybe I gotta take this bike apart and pull out the controller, and it should have some information on there. Maybe I might be able to ask Blake if we ever ride this bike again, and I'll tell him if I can get that information and let you guys know. But using this bike to work, it's not the fastest, it's not the slowest, but I will say it's the most quietest e-bike and the most comfortable, and it feels perfectly fine. Absolutely no issues with this bike whatsoever. Oh my God, we almost went down. I don't know if you guys saw that squirrel. The basket's probably blocking a bunch of stuff, but that squirrel ran right in front of me. But here's one thing I wanna say real quick. Now, they moved the kickstand back because I had a few complaints about some of their other bikes with the kickstand hitting this, right? So the kickstand used to be right here and it would hit this. Now they moved it way back here. I think if they had it right here in the middle, it'd be a little bit better. And the reason why I'm gonna tell you this, let me put the kickstand down first, like a dummy. I have a heavy basket in the front. There's no weight in the back. And the bike wants to almost tip over. I don't know if you noticed that. I'm not really pushing on the bike. Literally, I use one finger and the bike wants to tip over. If you're on a driveway like I was when I was getting ready, I had it on a slope and the bike was starting to tip over, so I had to actually move it to the grass. That's why we started the video kind of in the grass. And I don't want to not tell you guys that stuff because that's stuff that you guys need to know. I'm out here spitting the facts and the truth about e-bike companies, even though I work with them and I love Blake. Blake's a good guy. I have nothing bad to say to him. But I mean, if there's a problem with anything they make, I'm definitely going to bring it up. I do like the fact that they did move the kickstand. They just moved it too far back now. All right, so let's show you how fast it's going up this hill. Now this one isn't as big as the other one. We're doing 17 miles an hour, but we're doing about 20.9, so 21 miles per hour coming up this thing. And I will tell you that another reviewer did a review on this bike and showed that the speed is off by 1 mile per hour. And it's not under, it's actually over. And what I mean by that is this isn't over, this is actually under. The phone was the one that was over. So if I'm doing 28 miles an hour like it's saying right now, I'm actually doing 29. And if I'm gonna be doing 29 right here, I'm actually doing 30 miles per hour. So just something to think about. Their speed is pretty damn accurate. Most bikes will say you're doing 28 miles an hour, but you're really doing 25 once you hook a GPS up and you're kind of like, what the heck? Another thing to note too is that we can see how hot it is today. So it's 87 degrees. not too bad. Pretty nice day. It's a little hot with this Beyond Riders clothing on. I normally only bring out these shirts when it's nice and cold. Since I get off super late, it's a lot colder than it is right now, so I like to wear this thing. Pushing this bike in the store compared to my other bikes, the handlebars feel so high. They're like way up to my chest. Compared to the Onyx and the Super 73, they're very low. All right, cool. So I got to get my lock on this bike real quick. I got to move some stuff out of the way. But one thing I did bring to be sure it goes off if someone bumps in or tries to move my bike is the alarm system, baby. So if you use my code, you get this alarm system, and the alarm system little module is gonna be, okay, my bad. Stop it. I barely touched you. But the alarm system is gonna be right in here if you guys can see that. And yeah, this is a very cool feature. You get 2 of these just in case you lose one. So just keep one at your house, bring one with you. And let me get this thing locked up. I'll see you guys at nighttime. Oh shit. All right, this is the Model F from the Electric Bike Company. And just so you know, Connor, before you ride it, there's a 750 watt motor in the bag with a peak of about 1,000. It will tell you on the display right here how much power you're pulling. It's a 48 volt system. It's like I believe it's a 12 amp hour battery. It has a basket in the front, so it's a little top heavy in the front, but it has a nice comfortable seat. It's nice and smooth. It has pedal assist. The thing about this bike is it folds in half. That's the main thing about it. Is right here? Yeah, so
I was like, that's kind of a weird
you have a latch right here. You got a latch right down there. And then the pedals also, you can push them in, and they fold.
Nice.
Yeah. So this makes it easy if someone wants to buy a bike from this company, and now they can put it in their car.
You don't have to have a truck to haul it around. Okay. Oh, so it's not only.
So you can lock it out.
You can lock it, and you can like half lock it, I guess.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's actually very comfortable suspension. I went off-roading with it.
And then the modes on here is.
Oh, so you have pedal assist is off. If you want to turn it on, you just hold this down button. But you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just go to 5.
Okay.
The max.
All right, I'm out of here.
And if you want to pedal, like I said, just hold the down button, and then you're gonna see that pedal assist off goes away, and then it will say assist when you pedal.
Gotcha. I'll actually try that. Let's see.
There you go. So now when you pedal, it's gonna say assisted.
All right. I'm out here.
Come back, let me know. That gives you a good idea of how those brake lights look when someone rides it away from you. All right, so he's probably gonna go ride it for about 5 minutes. So when he comes back, I want him to give us his impression, like his first initial impression on riding the bike. He has not rode this bike ever before, so we're gonna see how he likes it.
So first off, I love the brakes on this thing. I like the short, the short throw, kind of like a quick release on it. Like some bikes, you have to press all the way down to get the brakes.
Yeah.
These were, really easy to get into, and then boom, you're stopped. The headlight is, I don't like how when I move the handlebars, the headlight doesn't move with it. That's something I'm not a big fan of, how it's just positioned straight. Because if I'm swerving on the road, I'm trying to avoid potholes, I want to see where I'm going in front of that. I don't want to just look straight at the pothole. I want to see what's right of it or left or whatever.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of that. But I definitely like the short. I feel like it gives me a good feel for what the bike's doing, and it definitely feels really sturdy. So definitely one of the more sturdier bikes. Because you've brought me some, little tiny things or whatever.
Yeah.
That, they have cool features, but I feel like they're not like stand, a little bit bigger of a person.
It says right there, built in the United States. But this bike specifically was built in, I think it was Huntington, California. But yeah, pretty nice bike.
It feels awesome though. I was trying it out. I was giving it some go. Well, I didn't think I would like the short handlebars, but I actually kind of liked it after just a minute or two on there.
Not too bad.
Yeah, and basket definitely helps out. Just throw your backpack in there.
That's what I did when I came to work. Yeah.
You just put it in front, just strapped it in there.
Yep. And then you can put I didn't strap it or nothing. I just laid it in there. But then you can put a milk crate, I believe, on the back. Now they do have a system for the bike rack in the back that you have like clamping attachments. But yeah, you can either put a milk crate on there, or there's attachments that come with that, or you can lift this up and then put something under it and just kind of bungee it together.
I feel confident in riding though.
Yeah. So. Cool, man. Well, thanks for riding, man. Appreciate it. All right.
All right, boys.
I'll see ya.
What bike is this?
Electric Bike Company. Model F stands for foldable because this bike folds down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the bars come down right here. They fold down to the side, and the clasp is on this other side, and it basically comes this way. pedals fold in too.
Okay.
Yeah, not too bad.
How fast does this thing go?
About 27, 28.
Okay.
It ships out at 20, but you can go in the settings and up it because it's for legal reasons, depending on where you live at.
Okay.
All right, let's up the speed on this bike, baby. Let's go. All right, so hopefully you guys liked the video that I did with my buddy. I just wanted him to ride it really quick and test out the bike, give me his first 5-minute impression, you know, on how he felt about it. And now we're on the way going home. As you can tell, the basket light is 100% not the best light I've ever had on a bike. I believe you can kind of fold it back and forth. I was telling my buddy you couldn't, but I definitely know there is a way you can kind of bend that bracket just ever so slightly to get a better look at the road. And I definitely keep running over stuff because I can't see. So I wanted to tell you guys, when my buddy gave it back to me after just riding it, we probably now have about 8 miles on the bike because it's about 7 miles to work and then 7 miles back. So we do about maybe 13.5 to 14 miles. And it was down 1 battery bar. But now it's back up. And we're gonna get into the section really quick where it's a bike trail, and we're definitely gonna be able to see how this light performs on a completely like dark area. Whoa, you won't be able to see anything. All right, so I definitely feel like we're gonna have to adjust this light. I don't know how exactly I'm gonna do it, but definitely gotta like bend this bracket or something like that because I can't really see. I know this light's a lot better than this. I've done it many times, I've used it. There we go. You see how the light's kind of going down. Okay, that's definitely a lot better. It might even be a little bit too low now. It is what it is. We'll rock it for now, but definitely wanted to tell you guys there was some more stuff I needed to give you guys in this video, and I just totally blanked out on everything that I was supposed to go over. So let's go over this stuff one by one again. Not the same stuff from earlier. This is going to be totally different stuff. So the first thing is the company is going to start having brake lights in the back. So they're not going to be lights that just are static. They're actually going to get brighter when you hit the brake. So it's going to work exactly like a car. Super cool feature. Definitely people are going to see you when you brake. Lights are going to get brighter. I mean, that's a good feature, I think, especially when you're riding like in a group or something like that. So if a bicyclist is right behind you or someone's behind you on something electric or gas or whatever, they're at least gonna have the sense of urgency to be like, okay, this person's slowing down or they're braking or something like that, and I need to start braking. Another thing the company is gonna be doing is adding turn signals to these bikes. Now that's a pretty cool feature. To me personally, I feel like these bikes aren't gonna be ridden by a lot of people like me in my type of area. These are more, you know, beach cruiser type of bikes, not city bikes. You can still use them in the city, don't get me wrong. Oh, I'm getting wet all over here. I wish I had those fenders already, but I just feel like, you know, it is what it is. It's a cool thing that they're adding. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on it. Turn signals would be great to have, but I feel like for this bike, you don't really need them, but I would definitely appreciate them. The other thing they're doing is they're gonna do an electronic horn button. So that'd be a nice feature because there's not even a bell or anything on this bike. You definitely need something on this bike to kind of alert people like, hey, I'm behind you, or hey, you got in front of me, or careful, or, you know, just let someone know. If you're on a bike trail or something like that, it will at least let pedestrians know. They're definitely gonna hear you with electronic horn. So I think that's something they definitely need to do, and they're gonna start putting these on some of these bikes. Yeah, so that's gonna be a good feature, I think. Definitely better than the turn signal idea. That's still cool. It just, I mean, a lot of people probably aren't gonna use the turn signals, and I'm hoping it's gonna be an option and not like something that's put on the bike that you have to pay for. So definitely hope it's an option. All right, so let's go over here. Complete black. You guys see how this headlight looks? Not terrible, right? All right, I'm not going in the dirt. Forget all that. Definitely not going in there. But I definitely wanted to show you guys these lights out in the real world, out on a regular street. By the way, keep in mind, my backpack is so heavy that the bike just wants to tip over. I told you guys that earlier. So be careful with that. But yeah, this is definitely how the brake lights look. I mean, they're bright. I love them. And the fact that if they're gonna actually have them with working brakes, when you hit the brakes and they get brighter than this, I don't know if they're gonna get actually bright in this. I take that back. I don't know if they're gonna dim them and then they'll get as bright like this when you hit the brakes, but it's nice. I give it to him. One thing I'm surprised that my buddy didn't say right away in the video is that the seat is very comfortable, because that's the first thing I noticed when I got on the bike, is that the seat just fills up my whole butt. Like, I mean, it covers everything. Nothing's hanging off the back, nothing's hanging off the front, nothing's hanging off the sides. I mean, it is a massive seat. And make sure, oh man, okay, I had the kickstand down. I'm surprised it barely just scraped right now. Oh, my nice, beautiful carbon fiber kickstand. I'm already scraping it up. Poor bike. I'm sorry, I love you. All right, so now let's move on to what I'm looking at on the display if it's not coming across, because sometimes these screens get washed out and you can't really see them. And right now, I'm at 45.3 volts under full throttle. And then if I let off, I jump up to, let's see, 47.2 volts. It's still going up, so okay, it's gonna go up to 48. It's still going, but I don't want to be off the throttle that long. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. We're down 2 bars out of the 4, and right now we're probably sitting at, I don't know, I would say 10 miles, 9 to 10 miles roughly. And then we'll see where our voltage is at when we complete our 14-mile journey when I get back home, and I'll let you guys know. Now, since this bike isn't the fastest bike to be on main roads, if you got a bike lane, great, but the next street coming up here does not have a bike lane, so sometimes you got to take some side streets with a bike like this that just can't keep up with the flow of traffic doing 40 miles an hour, which technically, let's just be real, no bike is supposed to legit go over 28 miles an hour, because then it's illegal. Most cops don't trip around here as long as you're kind of abiding by the laws of the road. You're not being a jerk or anything like that, or zigzagging out of people. But yeah, I'm gonna take this little shortcut right here just because we're only doing about 23 to 24 miles per hour now that we're down 2 battery bars. This would be a nice time to have a turn signal so people know what I'm doing on the road. And also, I need a mirror. If you ever get an electric bike, go on Amazon and go pick up a little cheap mirror that you can put on the handlebars so you can see behind you, because it makes it so much safer. A mirror, 100%. Electric bike company, I believe, does sell mirrors, so you can go to their website and pick up a mirror at the same time. And be honest, if you hit them up, you could probably have them installed at the same time when you order your bike. So real quick, going back to what my buddy was saying at work, I'm so glad that he mentioned the brakes, because obviously he only rode it for a super quick time, like not even probably 5 minutes. And the brakes were one of the first thing I noticed when I started my video review, but I was waiting to talk about the brakes because I had so many other things I wanted to talk about. But they are just crazy. All right, so I'm feeling like I'm losing a bit of torque out of the bike from when we first took off from my house, and especially when we took off from work, I felt like we had a lot more power. And it is true, because we're only pushing about 650 watts right now, where before it was about 850. So I can definitely feel it going down little by little. And what is this car doing? Please don't do anything stupid when I'm coming behind you. Please don't. That's a weird spot to be parked. I feel like if people are going to park like that on the side, put your hazards on. Come on. I don't know what you're doing over there. Again, we have our temperature display at night, and it is 62. So that's a huge difference from earlier when it was, what was it, 87 to 62? That's exactly why I have the Beyond Riders clothing on right now, because it feels perfect. And here we go. Here's a nice street with no lights. You see how this light is? It's kind of like a blue with a little bit of yellow in it. I'm very curious to see what the stock headlight would look like if I didn't have the basket add-on, but we won't find out because we never got it. Go, bike, go! It's so comfortable. I mean, I do wish it was faster. It's definitely street legal, but I like my bikes to go 40, 50 miles an hour. And if I can have a bike like theirs do 40, 50 miles an hour and feel this comfortable with this seat, this thing feels like insane. It's just so comfortable. I don't know what else to say. It's pleasing. It's just quiet, comfortable, and laid back. I just feel like I'm just cruising, like I'm on a cruiser. And an update on our voltage. Under load, we're looking at 43.5 volts. And right at this mark, we're probably at about 13 miles of range. One thing I want to mention real quick before we get to the house, because we're about to end this video, is that I noticed when I took this bike off-road and I went into the dirt and I went into all that stuff, I like the tires, but at the same time, these tires got a lot of little pebble rocks and a lot of thorns. Thank God nothing punctured these tires. I do know they have an extra liner in there, but I mean, any one of those thorns, if they would have went straight in, because a lot of them went at an angle, it could have easily just popped these tires and I would have not been riding it today. All those little pebbles are small enough to fit into the tread pattern of these tires. Doesn't make these tires crappy or anything. These are badass tires. It's just the design of picks up a lot of little debris if you go off-roading, or if you ride on the side of the road where a lot of stuff gets pushed over. But anyways, going back to the voltage, I'm gonna do a resting voltage once we pull over here and show you what it goes up to, so you guys know exactly what you're getting yourself into if you unlock the speed of this bike. Don't pedal, 0% pedaling, and you guys can see the voltage. So let me get to the house and I'll let you know. We just went down to our last battery bar. Crazy, right? Just when I'm getting home. All right, so there we have it. Hopefully you guys can see the display, because I do have a light right over the bike. So hopefully it's giving some extra light around here so you can see this. We ended up at 46.1 volts. Okay, so this chart is telling me that it is in between 45% and 50%. So 46.3 volts is right in between there. So not too bad. So pretty much we're at roughly, I'd say like 48, 47% for 14 miles. Yeah, 14 miles without using the pedals at all. That's not bad. Can't go wrong with that, even though we're down to our last battery bar. So you might want to take it kind of easy when you get down to that last battery bar. You never know what can happen. It could pull too much power and then the bike just completely shut off to protect the batteries. But anyways, see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching the video to the end. Use code MrCentralDriver if you want to pick up one of these electric bike company e-bikes or any other bike on their website. Works for anything. And you get the free alarm system. All right, guys. Peace out. Love you guys.